Alright, it's recording.
And welcome to Mike Nice Talking the Talk. I'm your host, Mike Nice. Today's guest was a former national high school basketball player, All-American, and she won her first NCAA national champion the year 2000 and was honored Big East Player of the Year. Today I have the one, the only assistant coach for women's UConn basketball, Coach Shea. Thank you for. And I know that intro didn't justify you all, but I want to thank you for taking your time and conducting this interview.
No problem.
When I was driving over here, I was thinking, I remember an episode I saw with Oprah Winfrey, and she interviewed Michael Jordan when he retired for like the sixth or seventh time. And she was saying that his name is the platinum standard for excellence. Like everybody, for any field, if you're a barber or chef or baseball, you're the Michael Jordan of it. You're really good. And I was thinking when I was coming down here that the women UConn basketball players or team organization represents that too. If not then, definitely now more than ever. And I just want to say it's really a privilege and an honor for me to be here, being part of the UConn family, being here in this new gym and speaking to you. You guys definitely represent a team. You guys have taken winning and a team concept to a new level for men and female sports. So I was thinking about that. And I know sometimes that could be overlooked because it's a team and Michael Jordan is more of an individual, but you guys definitely have that platinum standard for excellence. And I want to congratulate you and everybody on the success. I remember a couple of years ago, I don't know if it was 2 or 3 years ago, you guys lost one game in the regular season, but it was the first time in over a year you guys were like in a winning streak. You guys just came from a national champion, and like everybody was all hectic. I was saying, well, it's just the season, it's just the one. But is that how the whole camaraderie of the team is? You guys play game by game, but you guys take each game like a national championship?
Absolutely. We realize there's a different kind of pressure on us here at UConn, and we have an incredible support system within our school, our administration, and the other sports, the students, but also within the state of Connecticut. And, we're expected to win, and we expect that of ourselves. So when we lose, it is like Armageddon everywhere.
Oh, wow.
Within our offices here, we don't practice or play or expect to lose. We know that's part of the game, but Coach Ariam always says, chase perfection, catch excellence. So we want to be perfect, even though that's not really a realistic standard. But our players understand that we can get pretty close if we try.
How was UConn women's basketball team introduced? When was the first time that was approached to you when you were in high school, looking going to college? How was that approach?
They had just won their first national championship in 1995. I graduated high school in 96. And back then, Tennessee was like the program. And my mother actually played on the world championship team with Pat Summitt.
Oh, wow.
So everyone thought I was going to go to Tennessee. And on top of that, my mother was an All-American at North Carolina. She played a lot of basketball, clearly. So I was from North Carolina, so they were like, well, either North Carolina or Tennessee. I didn't want to go to either place, but I didn't have the gumption to tell anybody that. Until my junior year in high school, Coach Ariam called me in the summer. I talked to him one time, and I told my mother that I wanted to go on a visit, and I went on the visit, and I committed, and that was it.
Oh, wow.
I just kind of knew he was different, and he was very honest and straightforward, and I appreciated that because I knew he was telling me the truth. And everyone else sounded the same, but he sounded different.
So. And I bring that question up because now you're on the other side of the field.
I am.
So how do you your slogan or your pitch when you're speaking to the female athletes and you're trying to convey them to come over here to the women's UConn basketball team?
Well, first of all, we feel like what we do speaks for itself. So we try not to have like a pitch or a slogan because we're not salespeople. We feel like our program speaks for itself. And what we tell them is, this is something that we can give you that you can't get anywhere else. And we've proven it. So other people can say, if you come here, we'll do this, you can be this, but we've proven year in and year out that you have a great chance to do certain things if you come here. And so we get a certain kind of kid that wants that because the pressure here is a lot different than it is anywhere else. We have a bullseye on our back all the time. Some kids don't want that. But the ones that do are great players. They're real basketball players, and they come here because they know that they can't get that expectation to reap the rewards of all of that without being in a place like this.
And there's definitely pressure, like you said.
It is. It's a different kind of pressure. I don't think people always understand that. And so for just the most talented kids.
Right.
Because 90% of those kids can't handle the pressure
Right.
of expectation and the pressure of having to win every single day at whatever you do, not
Right.
just the games.
Right. Right.
Practices are way harder than the
Yeah.
games.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we expect them to be great people and great representatives of our program and great students and great teammates. So all those characteristics are things that we recruit. Talent is like last on the list. Obviously, they have to have
Some kind of
talent.
skill,
Yeah,
like
but those are things we feel like we can help them with and coach.
All right.
Their character, we can't coach that.
Right. Right. Would you say that the pressure has kind of excelled since you've been a player here, or has it been the same, or?
Well, the pressure from within the program has definitely been the same. He was tougher when I was here.
Okay.
He softened in his old age.
Okay.
I'm kidding,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
really. But there's definitely more of a national type of exposure for our program
Right.
now. And when I came here, we were just kind of getting on the national scene, but our support was just the same. We had 10,000 people at every game, and we were expected to win. But I think now it's different with social media and being on TV more.
Right.
You know, our kids can't really get away from it.
Right,
If I didn't
right.
want to hear about it, I just didn't read the paper or watch the news.
Right,
but
right,
now
right.
you can't get away from it.
Especially with the whole Twitter and YouTube
Oh
and everything
yeah,
else, right?
it's everywhere.
I know. Now you work with the guards, so I'm curious, in your opinion, how has the female guard position evolved over the past year?
Well, certainly the game continues to evolve, and players are getting bigger and stronger and more athletic. But a lot of the things that we do here, we've done for the last 20 years, and it's really based around fundamentals and being able to shoot, pass, and dribble. Now that sounds ridiculous,
Right.
but a lot of people can't do that
Right.
well in
Right.
college. So we really try to focus on our fundamentals, especially shooting and passing
Right.
at the guard position.
Right.
Because if you can't shoot, no one's going to guard you, and then it'll be like playing four
Right.
against five.
4 against 5, yeah.
And if you can't pass, then you can't play Connecticut. So we really try to put a lot of emphasis on moving the ball, less dribbling,
Right.
and work on specific skill sets of great basketball players. Whether or not they're guards or forwards, we expect them all to be able to do those three things: shoot, pass, and dribble.
Right. Now you have worked under coaching for now 7 years on the UConn women basketball team, and I was curious, what have you learned from him now as being a coach than when you were a player?
Well, I will say that getting older and wiser, I recognize more how much he cares about his players. When I played for him,
Right.
I didn't like him about 90% of the time.
Right.
95% of the time, he was so hard on us.
Right.
And at that time, I didn't have the wherewithal to understand
Right.
exactly why.
Right.
And, I think now being with him behind closed doors and working as a staff with CD and Marissa and in preparation for practices and games and in the summer, it's so evident how much he cares about our players and their success on and off the court, how much he cares about everyone that surrounds our program, and how gifted he is with the game of basketball and with people in general. He's brilliant.
Genius.
He is brilliant. He really is. And it's not just X's and O's. It's the actual conceptual ideas. It's dealing with people and being able to push different buttons.
Right.
I mean, that's a lot of our job.
Right.
So every single day I learn more about him and more from him, and it's been an absolute blessing to work for him.
I want to briefly talk about the female roles in men's professional sports over the past few years, 2-3 years. It slowly has gained a lot of attention, which it should. I think it's 2015. I think it's taking way too long.
Yeah.
Now in the NBA, the San Antonio Spurs had their first female assistant coach. Now this NFL, few female referees are stepping up to the plate. They're in training camp this summer, and even female owners and female assistant coaches. And I just want to know your thoughts on where you see that going in the near future. And do you think we'll ever have a professional female coach for sports, be it baseball or basketball? And this your take, because you're a female.
Yeah. I mean, it's been interesting to watch it unfold.
Right.
And obviously, the sports are the same, but they're different in some ways in terms of, we play below the rim right now for the most part, and the men don't. But the game of basketball is the same. So I would love to see, it be more molded together.
Right.
I think, whether or not if you're a female or a male, it doesn't matter as long as there's good coaches in the game. And it's similar similar to, our sport. There's a lot of male coaches,
Right.
Coach Ariamba being one of them, that are really good coaches, and there's a lot of female coaches that are really good coaches. So I would love to see us be rewarded by being able to move up in our profession, whether or not it's professional, college, whatever that might be. But as long as the good coaches keep moving forward, I think everyone will benefit from that.
Yeah, definitely. Talk to my viewers tonight just briefly about, because a lot of my viewers, actually all my viewers are hard UConn basketball fans. So this talks about the personality of the coaches briefly. You, Coach Chris, Coach Marissa, Coach Gino, and just briefly how their personalities are different from one another.
Well, I'll start with Coach Ariamba. He is, believe it or not, super laid back.
Okay.
And, he's focused on basketball,
Right.
the winning games, and our players, and the other stuff, he's like, he trusts us with it.
Okay.
He definitely has a strong opinion about things,
Right.
and if it's not done the way he likes, you're going to know it.
Right.
But he, just like with our players, he trusts our staff to get things done.
Right.
And he does the same things with our players. He shows them what to do, and then on the side, on the sideline, we sit there and we watch.
Right.
We watch it, and we give them the power to do those things.
Right.
So that's something that I really respect, because I think as I've gotten older, it's hard to let go of control. When
Yes.
you want to do something, when you know how to do something,
Right.
you want to control everything. He doesn't do that at all.
Oh, okay.
He's a great boss. He's a great coach in
Right.
that way, and I think that's why our kids develop so quickly.
Oh, that's good.
CD is extremely regimented. She keeps him in line because he's extremely not.
Right.
So he doesn't know meetings. His time is not really of the essence.
Right.
But for her, she keeps him in line.
And they've been in here the longest.
They've been here together for 30 years.
30 years.
Yeah.
Right.
So they came in together,
Right.
and they're the perfect yin and yang for each other. And CD obviously spearheads everything with our program, whether it comes to the way our kids dress, how we act on the bus, how we act in restaurants, our academics, our recruiting. She spearheads it all. So she is just as important.
Right.
Marissa is, she came in 1 year after me, so I've been here. I just finished my 7th year.
Yep.
And Marissa used to work camp when I was a player at Connecticut, so we knew her. We actually played against her. She played at BU in the NCAA tournament. She likes to talk about it. They lost by 60.
Yeah.
She likes to talk about that a lot. Not very fondly, but she'll talk about it.
Right.
But she has a huge personality, and she's the youngest one on staff. So she has a great relationship with all the players,
Right.
and very hip and that kind of thing. And me, I kind of feel like as I'm getting older, I'm starting to move away from the role that Marissa has and more into, I'm not as much of a player coach anymore. I'm starting to get older.
Right.
And I'm also very competitive and hard-nosed. So I think that I'm, to Marissa's extrovert, big personality, I'm more introverted, but tougher on the players. And I think that I have a special relationship with them because I played here. And they can come to me about certain things, and I can talk to them about certain things, whether it's on or off the court, any kind of thing on campus. But it's really a benefit for me to be an alumni and to have played for Coach Ariamba in terms of my role here on the staff.
Right. And if you ask you real quick, what national championship, if you had to choose, means the most, coming from a coach or?
I would have to say, they all are so meaningful, but the one that, if I had to pick, I would say the one that I won as a player, because it was my first one.
Right.
And that's the one that you remember the most.
Right.
I think, you worked your whole life, it felt like it was, to get to a point, and it was surreal. And it was something that I think I've been able to benefit from coaching here now, and going through that experience as a player, because it's very hard.
Right.
But it's something that I can speak to my players about, our players, and I can relate to them with. So that one was definitely the most meaningful for me.
And that leads me to my next question. I know you were drafted in the WNBA, but you had a knee injury that forbid you to play. So if you had to go back in time and choose between playing in the WNBA or winning your first national title, which one would you choose?
Oh, I would win a national title.
Right.
100 times out of 100.
Oh.
I'm sad that I didn't get to play professionally, but I think for me it was probably a blessing. I'm not exactly.
Do you think if you did play in the WNBA, would you still be assistant coach?
I don't know. I don't know that I would have lasted very long in the league, because I'm not as good of a player as a lot of these guys are. I could create my own did well with the structure and the style that we did here, and I had great players around me. So in that way, I benefited from it.
Right.
But I'm not sure how long I would have lasted in the league, to be quite honest. And I think that my knee injuries were a blessing, and that I probably was always meant to be a coach.
Two more questions. One is, if you weren't a coach, what would you be?
Who knows? I think about that a lot, just because there's so many things that interest me. I love coaching; it's my passion. But I like to get involved in the community. I'm very, I'm not athletic, but I'm very active. I'll say that. So I love to do any kind of exercise class, yoga, all kinds of stuff I love doing. And I think that would probably be something that I would get into if I wasn't into coaching, because I just like to be around athletic activities. I like to be active. But I honestly can't imagine my life not coaching. It's hard to even think about that.
Right. And where do you see yourself in the near future, let's say 5 years from now?
You know, I have two theories when it comes to that. People always say you can't accomplish your goals if you don't set them. You set goals and have time frames. But everything that I've done in my life has not been planned. You know, that's been really great.
Right.
It's been something that I've thought about maybe, but not necessarily had this like, I have to do this by this time.
Right.
And when I do that, it never happens.
Right.
So my goals are more broad based, and I think for me, I want to continue to work with Coach Ariema and learn and just prepare myself for the next step in my coaching career. Wherever that may take me, I don't know. I just know that I need to learn as much as I can from him while he's still coaching. And I know if I do that, then I'll be ready for whatever comes.
So let's just tell my viewers, so when you do become a head coach, do you think probably your whole demeanor is going to be under the shape from Coach Gino, or a little bit bits and pieces from other coaches? I know you worked 5 years under Pittsburgh, so I was just curious about that. When you do become a head coach,
you can say
it.
I won't say it.
Okay.
I don't think that, obviously I want to take a lot from what I've learned here, but I'm not him. And, you know, he is better than me in a lot of ways, and in some ways I think, you know, I have some different attributes than he has. But I know that what I've learned in terms of basketball is unmatched here, and how he deals with people. And I've had some great experiences as a player and a coach. I'm not sure exactly how I'll be. I think I'm pretty tough of a person, but I'm gonna have to be careful with that, you know, early on in my career. And I'm learning that from him. You know, he balances it really well, even though it doesn't look like that all the time on TV. He really balances that. So I'm not sure. I do think I'll probably do what you just said that I would do, is kind of mold myself after every experience that I've had, and hopefully it'll work.
It will. Thank you. It's an honor.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Thank you again.
Enjoyed it.
I wish you guys best of luck for this coming season.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you. This is Mike Nice. I want to thank Assistant Coach Crochet and the UConn Women's Basketball Organization. Thank you. Stay tuned. Thank you
All right.
so much.
You're welcome. No problem.